Hey, hey, where's my? Oh, and I had such a good opening, but I saw my microphone was muted. Can everybody hear me? Okay, thanks for coming by. I just hope that this, technology, microphone, video, everything's working. So, so anyway, unfortunately, the old dog did show up. I was thinking that maybe he'd be sleepy or overslept or something like that, but he did show up. But I told him, I'm not going to let him get on stage until everybody, all the doors are shut. No escaping through the exit. So without further ado, I see the stage crew's telling me all the doors are shut, they're locked, nobody's leaving. So without further ado, here's the old dog, Paul McGill. Hey,
what
Paul.
do you want?
Nothing.
Quit bothering me. Jeez.
I was going to say, what's going on? Here, there's nothing at all.
We're just still here envying your lifestyle there in California, highfalutin. Traipsing back and forth into Mexico, making big long trips, never out of stock. All days are sunny.
Yeah.
No problems at all. Loving life, living large.
Brownouts.
We all want to be big Bud Brown.
Just don't get carried away here now. Oh.
Yeah. So what's on your agenda, Mr. Brown?
Well, first of all, I wanted to tell
here
you
we go. When he says first of all, that means about 15 minutes of intro.
One out of.
Here we go. Okay, let's go.
The thing that I'm so impressed here, besides the people running around with their hair on fire and pitchforks, besides that, technology, Paul, technology. So I've been in the Philippines approximately 12 years.
Yeah.
And I come back, what? So many things. And what I'm not afraid of, but I think what's going to happen is when I say something that's just amazing, people are going to say, what, are you kidding? That's been around for years.
Yeah.
But I am going to show you something here that I'm very impressed.
Okay.
When you light a candle, right, you usually take a match, strike it, and if the candle is very low, it's kind of hard to get it. And sometimes Gloria and I, we have what we call a fire stick that it's got the butane.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what it's officially called, but
I think it's for fireplaces and stuff.
Fireplaces, and we had to use that a lot in Dumaguete on our stove.
Okay.
For some reason, it never clicked. But anyway, look at this, my friend. Can you see it?
No. Yeah, now I can. What is it?
This is an electronic fire starter. Look. Yeah. Look, I push this little button here on the handle, and look. Okay. I'll put it in my hat where it's dark. Whoops. Look at that.
I can use one of those.
And look at this. I'm getting the camera here. Watch this. If I can see what I'm doing. I'm lighting a candle with it.
That's amazing, bud.
Here's one. It does more than one. It does two. Well, okay, there you go. That's it.
And that's the show, folks.
That's it.
How would you live all your life without
easily entertained? Here's one more thing.
Oh, no. I was afraid of that.
You know what they say? You build a better mousetrap, the what was it? It'll pay the all through your door or something like that.
Yeah.
Bitter mousetrap. Looky here, my friend. See this? Watch it. Huh? Little thing goes in there.
Yeah.
And you know what? It works.
Really?
And I know you don't believe me, so I got a picture of it.
Okay.
If I can find that picture. Here we go. There it is. Boom. Can you see it?
Yeah. I think that's awesome. You're murdering small creatures.
I know it. That'll teach them to come in and interrupt my studying in the shed, we call it. Yep.
You get a lot of mice out there?
You know, surprisingly, that was the only one. So I saw him running around.
Probably an endangered species.
Probably, yeah. Just between me and
Yeah,
you.
did you light him on fire after you with the thing?
Oh man! But I bought this fancy mousetrap, and next day caught it, and then I've been anxiously every day, you know, for like 2 or 3 weeks. Nothing.
Waiting for another kill.
Yeah, that was it. So,
Bud the caveman. Hey, what's going on out there in the United States of America? Is it expensive?
I'll have to say this. The restaurants are outrageous. Outrageous.
I've heard.
When we first got here, the kids would take us out to dinner. And at first, I was going to go ahead and pay for the dinner. But I saw the bill, then I couldn't find my wallet, you know?
Right.
I
you got
left it
alligator arms.
Tyrannosaur. Can't reach my. Oh, man. 4 of us, right? Just us
Right.
4. Me,
Right.
Gloria, Tammy, and Andrew. $100, Paul.
What restaurant was it at? Fancy
Well,
Steakhouse?
I don't know if this is expensive or not. This was at IHOP, but it's other.
IHOP.
Yeah, but it's other.
25 bucks a
restaurants.
head at IHOP. And you get some eggs, some pancakes, some orange juice, and coffee.
Yeah,
Maybe bacon or something.
I was going to do a video about the lady. I said, "Oh no, that lady accidentally left the coffee pot on the table. Let's hurry up and drink a lot before she realizes." That's a good thing. Coffee.
Now, I'll tell you what, when I went back to the States a year and a half or so ago, I think the most pleasure I derived during the entire trip was sitting in a coffee shop. Because immediately somebody came by and said, "Hi," handed me a menu, said, "You have a coffee?" I said, "Yes." Boom, there was the coffee, and they would lay the pot there on the table. Then 2-3 minutes later, come back, say, "You figured out what you wanted? Do you need more time?" "No, I know what I want." "Okay, what is it?" "Okay." Boom. And then 5 minutes later, there it was, hot, fresh, and ready.
Yeah.
So yesterday, was it yesterday, baby? We went to pizza, and it's a 10-minute thing, just getting getting our silverware. And I always tell me, I go, "Are you hungry?" She says, "No." And I go, "Well, you will be by the time we get through. We're going out."
Hunger makes the best sauce, as they say, you know. Oh my. Well, I learned something too. You know, I'm learning all the time, learning how things are. Although, you know, I'm born and raised in California, but being out of the state for the last 12 years, so much, Paul, has changed. It really
Well, what's
has.
the biggest change? I mean, I'm hearing so many things. Of course, there's the political stuff, which we won't get into.
Yeah, thank you.
But I'm just hearing that people are more stressed out. They're having a lot of financial issues.
Well, I'd heard that before I came.
People are robbing stores at will. And I don't know if that happens out where you're at or not.
You know, California is a big, big country.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. It's the 5th strongest economy, I think, in the world is California.
Yeah, well, there's so many different landscapes, and the beach and mountains and desert, and
Yeah.
we are high desert. Now, see, I've never lived in high desert before, or any kind of desert, but the critters are all different here.
Yeah.
Coyotes, cottontail rabbits, snakes. So this that's really different. But the people, and I was sensitive to this because I'd heard about the attitude. But Paul, everybody's been so nice. Now maybe
cool.
I don't know. Maybe it's been where I'm hang around or places that I go. But it's like shopping centers. You know, it's an hour to any place. I mean, any shopping center or store, Walmart or Target or anything. It's an hour.
Really?
So yeah. And Tammy, she drives Miramar, for her. She's still on active duty. Well, she's not on active duty now. She just got off, but she's still in the Navy. And she drives there every day. Got this big old truck. I know it's going to cost her $50-$60 a day, Paul. Wow. Oh, my gosh.
Wow. Yeah, that was a shocker, man. When I went back to California to see my father and sister and all that happy stuff, that was when it was psycho, and it was $7 a gallon.
Oh,
and I put $70 worth of gas in my sister's little car, and I got half a tank.
Yeah.
And I thought, how does the every guy do it?
Yeah.
It's these little incremental things that will just eat away at your paycheck.
Yeah.
And just putting food on the table, but
right.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's just like living in the Philippines. In a sense, it's a package deal. Living in here, it's a package deal.
Yeah.
On one hand, I mean, the kids are treating us like royalty. Good grief,
Right.
No rent. They buy most of the food, and finally, we insisted that we got to pay just for our own dignity.
Sure.
We want to pay at least what we were paying, which wasn't much, for rent and Dumagetti. So, the kids don't want it. Dad, Mom, we plan on this. Don't worry about it. No, we got to. If you don't want to, just put it in a pot and do what you want with it. But we're giving you this money. So, and then the weather is something else too. We're on top of a hill. I don't know if you've seen the videos. We're on top of that, so there's a constant wind blowing around this.
Yeah, what is that called?
Well, it's not the sand. What do you call it? The big strong wind that's supposed to be in the Santa Ana. Yeah, Lord, just remind me.
Santa Ana winds. Yeah.
Santa Ana wind. Those, and I've been looking forward to them, but evidently, it's past the season.
Oh, okay.
So the Santa Anas, man, everybody, as soon as we moved here, oh man, they're just fierce. So anything, tie down anything or bring things in the house. No, I mean, the wind may be 20, 30 miles per hour. It's a nice breeze. But the seasons too, Paul, I mean, this is to be expected. I come from the Philippines, right? One season,
One season.
And here, it's cold. It was cold, bitter cold. And then springtime, it got kind of a fresh air, cool. And the summertime, well, they said it was going to get hot, but hey, I've been living in the Philippines. I was born and raised in Central California. You call this hot? This ain't hot. So it didn't, even though it may got up to 100 degrees Fahrenheit, but yeah. But the weather.
What happened to your plans with? What happened to your plans with Mexico? Are you going? Are you going to make the transition over there, or are you just going to bounce in for a couple, 3 days and come back to the kids? What's the deal?
Well, I've dipped into Mexico, Tecate, which is just down the road, 20 minutes or so. Mm-hmm. And we've gone there in and out. It's just a sleepy little pueblito, little podunk village, and not a whole lot of excitement going on down there. But so I decided Tecate is not the place for us. But then the way Tammy, she's a corpsman, which is like a Navy, like a nurse. But she takes care of the Marines, you know. Oh, she's become hard nosed too. The Marines, they don't, they don't. She doesn't put up with anything at all with them. So she makes sure that Gloria gets her medication. And just before we left there, the doctor, Dr. Coe, who's at
Specialist.
where?
Specialist with kidney.
Yeah, he was a kidney specialist. He says you need to take some injections because your kidney's not functioning 100%. So he said, when you get to the state, we're just going to leave. He said, take this prescription, go down and have it fill it, and it should be twice a day for 20 days, then off 10 days. And that'll supplement your help keep your kidneys from getting worse, which we did. And the pharmacies in Mexico, kind of like the Philippines, they don't need no prescription.
What is that?
But there was a thing this last time I went down there. Oh, and it was kind of expensive. And most of the medication was like the Philippines, not too expensive. But what we got, it was for 12 days. It was 6 vials. Well, I should say one a day. We were giving her one a day, and it was like $150. So it was, but I said, hey, we don't have any bills here, and for her health, I'll be a greeter at Walmart if I have to.
Yeah, it sounds like you have to duck and weave and bob and roll with what's you're dealt with.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
apparently, if Gloria's having some issues health-wise,
Yeah.
and you need to be close to your kids.
That's it.
It sounds like the permanent move to Mexico itself is off the table.
Yeah.
Which
No,
makes
a
sense.
permanent move, definitely. Yeah. So
Yeah.
this is definitely a home base.
God.
And Gloria's not the traveler that I am.
Right.
I know.
Right.
And Paul, I just got to thinking too. There was a big, big weight off my shoulders because for 50 years, I cared for her. And of course, I still do. But there was no safety net after me.
Right.
If something happens to me, she's on her own.
Right.
But
Right.
here, both Tammy and Andrew, they just love her dearly.
That's got to be like a 500-pound weight taken off.
I'll
your back.
say for sure. And that
Yeah,
also frees me to go traveling and knowing that she's taken care of and looked after too.
Speaking of traveling, do you have any plans? I don't mean coming to the Philippines. I know that's probably way down the road. But are you going to do some exploring there in the States? Or are you going to maybe grab a
No,
bus and just go in one direction?
I kind of like
for-
crossing borders, with
Yeah.
different
Okay.
languages and stuff. So I'm going to go deeper into Mexico and stay 3 or 4 or 5 days.
There you go.
Yeah. And then I may just keep on going south, Central America, South America. But my kids, man, they got a good schedule. They're like, they do their thing for a couple months. And then like right now, they're gone. Andrew's in Nebraska helping his friends move. And Tammy's in Florida visiting somebody. So they visit people for 3 or 4 days. Of course, I'm sure that Grandma and Grandpa is here to take care of the dogs, helps
Yeah.
for them. So I'm glad
Yeah,
that
yeah.
we can be help. Yeah.
I think it's a win-win. The kids
It
love
is.
you out there. You've got your own little campsite in the back there.
Yeah.
You can come up to the house with them.
Exactly.
You both have got your privacy.
Yeah.
They need your help with the dogs. You're there. You
Yeah.
need their help with a ride somewhere.
Yeah.
It's a perfect mix, man.
Speaking of dogs, I got a picture of this one dog. Let me see if I can get it out here. Oh, look at that.
Wow.
The head is bigger than Gloria's head.
Wow. And gentle as a lamb up there.
Yeah. But he's like a little horse galloping around,
Really?
He's only like 4 or 5 months old. So he's just a pup. But he's what they call technically what they call a cane corso. It's an Italian Mastiff. So
Oh.
I'm learning about Mastiffs. They're different, kind of English and French, and this is an Italian Mastiff. But they're all big dogs, no matter what they're called, you know. So let's see. Yeah. Okay. Oops. Got to get back to the big.
We're back. We're back.
Okay. So enough of me talking about myself. What did you think of my last movie?
Well, I had a good beat and I could dance to it. I'll just say that.
Tell me what's going on with the old dog.
What's going on? Well, we just keep adding to the family. We've
Oh,
got
boy.
2 dogs now, speaking of dogs. And they're a lot of fun. And I made an observation the other day. It doesn't matter how long you're gone for. You can walk out to the gate and take out the trash and come back in, and the dogs act like you just came back from war. You know, they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh my God, you're back! You're home! I'm so happy to see you." You know,
Never
it just
see you
doesn't matter. They're just so full of joy and happiness.
Yeah.
And so, last time I came back from a little excursion, I came through the door, and the dogs were just flipping out. And May was sitting on the couch texting somebody, and I said, "Hey, baby, how come you don't greet me like that when I come home?" And she didn't even look up from her phone. Moral of the story: get a dog.
There you go. There you go. Well, you know, like I was saying, I think we were chatting just before we came live that we have an unwritten rules that Gloria, and she's the one that said this, that she would take care of the dogs no matter what, you know, eat,
Yeah.
feed, clean up, bathe, whatever. And so that's okay. That's okay.
I think dogs are a huge addition to your life, and you can learn a lot from dogs.
Yeah.
Watching. I mean, they live each day to the fullest. If you're going to get in the car, they want to go. They don't care where we're going. They just want to go.
Yeah.
When May and I were sick, they sense it. They pick up on it. And our dogs would, when May was sick, they would just, they would ignore me. They would go where she was in bed, and they would get in bed with her, and they would just lay with her and kind of keep an eye on her. And the same thing with me. I was conked out on the couch with some sort of bug one day.
Yeah.
And the dogs, they just came and like, "What do you
Yeah.
need, pal?"
Yeah. Comforting, you know?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
one time,
it just adds so much, to my life.
I
And
know
I'm just
people
so
that
thankful to
don't
have
know.
them. And May loves them like kids,
Oh,
and she dresses the poor things up in these embarrassing outfits.
that's all the fun. That's the fun part.
And I have my buddy in the States, and he goes, "If I see that friggin' dog in one more outfit, I'm going to shoot myself." Well, I immediately send him another picture.
Oh, there you go. That'll teach him. One time,
What do
Gloria.
you miss about the Philippines? I think
What I missed?
inquiring-
Okay.
If
Yeah.
there was one thing, I got an idea. Can I
Yeah.
tell you what I think it is?
Tell me.
I think it's transportation. I think it
Yeah.
would be the fact that you had your little buggy, and even if you didn't have your little buggy,
Yeah.
you could hail down a trike,
Easy.
or it's just so easy peasy to go anywhere and everywhere. And I think where you're at now sounds a bit isolated. You said it's an hour away. And
Yeah.
so now it's kind of like, I know, Bud Brown, you don't ever want to impose on anybody. And you might say, "Yeah, I'd like to go to town, but I don't want to ask Tammy to drive me,"
Yeah.
whatever. I don't know. Is there buses out there that you guys
There's
can
buses,
hop on?
and that's one thing that I'm a little bit perturbed at myself. I
Huh.
says to myself, once I get that bus pass, hey, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I got the bus pass, and I've gone 3 or 4 times, but one time or 3 times out of the 4, I went down to Tecate, dropped me off. Hey, but let me tell you this. There was a fellow on the bus. And he said, "You going down to Mexico?" I said, "Yeah, I'm going down to the Farmacia," which is pharmacy. to get some medication for my wife. He said, I want you to pick me up some Viagra. I didn't know him very well, you know. And so
Was he
like
kidding
you, I'm thinking, you're kidding me, right? You're pulling my leg.
Right.
Because anytime I talked with guys in Philippines, it's like kind of a topic of, you know, joking
Oh,
around
sure.
and stuff, blue
Sure,
pill
sure.
and that. And he said, yeah, he said, I take the bus every day, and here, let me give you my number and I'll pay you for it. He said it should be about $50. And I'm saying, this
So
guy's,
he was serious.
yeah, he was serious.
Did
So
you do
then
it?
I went down. Well, this is what happened. I went down and I didn't have the nerve, Paul, to go into this pharmacy. Gloria and I have both been in there before to get her medication. So here's this old man and his old wife
Yeah.
coming up to the counter asking for Viagra. And you know what would not help if I said, I got a friend that I met on the bus.
Yeah.
He wanted me to. They're going to say, yeah, we've heard that before.
Well, what you do next time is you go in, you order the Viagra, and then when he hands it to you, you go, "This is why my wife's always smiling."
Well, the next day I was on the bus and he said, again, I said, no, I didn't have time or something, you know. So, but I was going to, so I said to myself, okay, hey, a lot of guys get it. So what, you know?
Yeah.
Just because it's not my thing, that doesn't mean that, I mean, so there's a pharmacy and then the doctor's right next door. So I've become friends with the doctor. And so I went in there and talked with him and I said, hey, and I did tell him there's a guy on the bus that wanted me to
Yeah. Right.
but I'm embarrassed to get it. He said, I'll get it for you. What'd
Oh,
you do that?
cool.
So he
That was
goes,
weird.
it's just right next door. As a matter of fact, there's a door between his office and the pharmacy.
Sure.
He goes in, I go over there, and he said, yeah, he's got a, this is the time I probably say, me no speak English. Me no speak Spanish, you know. But there was a woman and two guys and the doctor. And finally, I just said, yeah, I said, I'm kind of embarrassed to get it. But it's everybody, man, people come in here all the time. Are you kidding? And
So
one guy
it's
said,
that old saying, bud, don't worry what people think about you.
that's it. And that was my problem. What are they going to think?
Oh, what are they going to think about me? You know? Oh boy, they could care less. Just another
Yeah.
package sliding across. They're taking your money, and out the door you go.
Yeah.
You think they really spent the last hour talking about the old guy buying the Viagra? No.
No, they have other things to talk about. Yeah. But the guy told me a good expression in Spanish. He said, we call that raising the flag. Oh, okay. I remember that. So I
Okay,
got it.
so-
It was
So you're not
$36.
Are you confident in the quality of the medications and all that you're buying across the border? I mean, does that cause you any concern they might be counterfeit or anything like that?
No, we continued getting what Gloria's regular prescriptions.
Okay.
And they were about the same, except for that in the injections, they were quite a bit more expensive. But here's the thing, too, and I'm sorry I'm talking so much, but I'll get this over with and then let
It's
you.
okay. We're all used to it.
But I went down there and got Gloria's. I had the prescription, and I went down there and give it this a couple weeks after the last time I was there. She came with a little old bitty box, and I'm expecting like $150, right, for a bigger box with six or two boxes. And she says, "You got a discount because I got me one of those pharmacy discount cards like Longs and CVC or whatever that is." And so I give her that. She says, 37 pesos. What? That would be like $3, right? I said, no, that can't be right, because before she said, no, that's what you have on the prescription here. I said, oh man, I grabbed the wrong prescription. And so once again, I go next door. I tell the doctor, hey, I got the wrong prescription. You remember the one they injected? Yeah, yeah. So he came over, straightened it out. And sure enough, it was $150. And then I was going back. As I was going through immigration, it's a guy that normally I'm familiar with the immigration guys there. But this guy, he said, Buenas tardes. And I answered, Buenas tardes. And he said in English, who are you visiting? Thinking, who am I visiting in the States?
Oh,
Yeah, I'm Mexican. And I'm
wow.
visiting somebody in the
What a
States.
compliment.
I know it. I took it as a compliment. All right.
That is a
So,
compliment for you.
He said, who are you visiting? And I said, I live there in Campo, right up the street. I just come down to get some medication for my wife. He said, do you have the prescription? I said, yeah, here it is. And when I gave it to him, I thought, oh my gosh, that's the wrong one.
Yeah.
Because that's the one originally, and then it wasn't. And so he goes on the computer. And I'm thinking, oh man,
Really?
he said, hey, this is illegal stuff, mister. Handcuffs.
Really?
Yeah. So I almost want to say, oh, wait a minute. You see what happened was, and I said,
Right.
I'll just forget about it, So he looks up, evidently, whatever it said on the computer was okay. And then he goes and he says, okay, have a nice day.
Now, do people, I guess people must go down there. It just now occurred to me. They may go down there and get drugs that maybe require a prescription, like painkillers or something like that. You think that's what he's checking for? Guys doing that kind of stuff?
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's the first time we've been there, like I say, 3, 4, 5 times. And this is the first time he's ever
First
asked.
time he's,
Yeah.
questioned you.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Huh.
And then before, they'd ask Andrew, who you visiting? Because he definitely looks Mexican. And he just said, no, I'm with my dad, because I was right in front of him.
Right. So it's not hard crossing the border. It's an easy.
No, not at all. And I'm looking around. This may not, I don't want to start any controversy, but as I'm going through, here's, of course, the big wall on each side of the street. I'm saying, where's all those crowds, that are pouring through? I don't see them.
Right.
So
Right.
I realize, that I'm in a place where it's a little old bitty town, and it's not that. And there may be places where they're pouring through. I don't know, but I
You
haven't
got
seen
him either.
yeah. So I'm thinking of going down to this place called Guanajuato. When I was a kid, I stayed there, and I said, man, I'd like to come there, when I get retired.
What's cost of living for guys watching that are curious? What's you think? Maybe you don't know, but what's the cost of living you think approximately for a fella or a couple in Mexico to the house and maybe have their own transportation? I don't know. Do they ride scooters in Mexico or no?
Not that many.
I didn't think so.
Of course, I've only been in Tecate there. I mean, many, many, many years ago, I lived down in Guadalajara, but right here on the border, no, there's vehicles going across. And I was very curious about what were the requirements to drive across, and they said, "I just drive across." And
Yeah.
and
Do you have any idea what like a rent for a?
I've asked around, and it seems to be about like the Philippines.
Really?
A little bit more expensive, but I think it's because right here at the border,
Yeah, maybe as you go in
down
deeper,
farther.
it gets cheaper and cheaper. Kind of like going out to the province and away from the city.
Right.
Food. Is there a
it's
lot of selection of food, or is it primarily
What about the food?
food? Well, food. Is there a big selection of food, or is it primarily what I envision as Mexican food, like tacos and all that?
I like to go grassroots, me. And so the grassroots is pretty much tacos, refried beans, burritos, know.
Are they inexpensive? Is it like the
that for sure. Now that's inexpensive. Yeah. I got 2 great big tacos and Coke. Well, Coke, I don't know, some drink. And it was like $1.50,
Nice.
So it was good too.
That's cool.
A little bit too spicy for Gloria. She's not a spicy food eater.
What about safety element down there?
Oh, here's the thing. I went there with an open mind, of course, and was we went to this one restaurant. It was Andrews had a aunt that had a restaurant there, and we went there and we said we're going to go back up to the border, and she said, well, my husband will take you up there. So I asked him. I said, hey, is it pretty safe here? He said, yeah, it's safe. He said, you just still have to be careful. Don't be flashing around a lot of money. You know, it's common
Right.
sense, Paul, you know.
Don't wear
Yeah.
jewelry,
But
fancy watch, all that. Yeah.
yeah, but they were talking about, I asked if the white man would be a target, which I got one comment said, hey, you got a target on your back. But, you know, since he asked me if I was visiting the United States, I feel like, okay, you know,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I just think, Paul, and, you know, you've been to Thailand, you've been around. So
Yeah.
common sense, you know, don't walk down dark alleys, especially unless they're going to the immigration, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Maggette.
I know. I need a flashlight just to get down,
I know.
down that hallway. Good
Yeah.
Lord.
I know.
Yeah.
You stick your arms out, you touch both
What
balls.
it looked like when I first got here, and what it is two different animals completely, man. It's almost laughable. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But they have we just got back from Cebu. We were down there, I think a week ago now. And we had to go to process my 13A visa. And they are building a new immigration office in the Robinsons Mall there.
Oh,
And actually, the one that we went to was a temporary one because in the basement of Robinsons, they're building a new immigration. So I'll be curious to see, you know, in a year from now or whatever it takes for them to complete that, what it looks like. But the one down here in Dumaguete could use an overhaul.
yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
So you're going to go from the dark, narrow alley to the basement. And-
Yes. Yes. Thrill seeker that I am.
Oh man, I do miss the Philippines, and the part that, like you said, the transportation. If I had transportation that I could as easy as it was there in Dumaguete, you know, I'd be well. As you know, my schedule like yours, a couple hours out, you know,
Yep.
do our thing in the mornings, and visit people and go to different places.
Yeah.
They come home, and you know that's pretty much it for the day.
Yeah.
So I have to do more planning. Matter of fact, I had a class reunion today, but Paul, to get there, oh my gosh,
That's a shame.
yeah. First of all, just to walk to the bus stop, it takes me 30 minutes to walk, which is good for me anyway. That's what I keep
Yeah,
telling
sure.
myself. So go 30 minutes, then it's like a 2-hour bus ride to the Amtrak station, you know, San Diego. Then if you know that route up to the valley, it goes up to LA Union Station, which is huge, man. We missed a bus there one time, or missed a train. And then you get off the train, get on the bus, you go over to Bakersfield, then you get back on the train again, you go up to Tulare. And then I have to have my friend come pick me up at the Amtrak. I told him, oh man, I'll have to catch it next year. But,
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds very
Yeah.
involved there.
It used to be every 10 years and every 5 years. Now they're having it every year.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe I'll have it every 6
months pretty soon, you know.
Then we can have it in somebody's living room, probably, 4 or 5 people that are left. Oh man. But seeing people that I haven't seen in a long time, so that's good. I always like meeting people, and I met people from the Philippines there. I don't know if you know Gary. I don't know if he uses his middle name, Gary Michaels, but he's got a different last name. But he came by and we had breakfast, and
Oh yeah, I just saw Gary the other day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He
And
mentioned that he saw you.
yeah, and he said if I ever come to Dumaguete, he's got a spare room.
There you go.
And a couple of
There you
people have said that, so that's nice.
That's awesome. Now,
Yeah.
if you come to Dumaguete, stay away from my house.
Well, I was going to say if you got a spare room, even if you don't, you
Yeah.
could sleep on the couch.
Yeah.
I just want to know what's in the refrigerator. I hope it's
You're not
full.
welcome here at all, bud. Just
Okay, well, I'll sneak in the back door then. Yeah, and if you ever come here to Campo, California, then I'll be sure take a little vacation somewhere else.
yeah, you won't be home.
Be available. Gloria could meet you.
How is my friend Gloria? Did you
She's
tell her I said
good.
hi and give her
Her
a hug?
attitude is still the same, which I guess you could say good.
Yeah,
But her knee, because of her limping and not using it, her left thigh is starting to atrophy. So.
Mhm.
Well, you know what? Maybe this would be a good time for me to talk about Medicare. Several people have asked something about
There you go.
Medicare. The first couple of years when I was there in Dumaguete, of course, you're automatically enrolled in Medicare when you turn, I don't know what, 65 or 65. So there was nothing to do, but I did notice that they were taking premium out of my paycheck. So I said, what's this? So there, as far as I know, there's probably more detail, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, which I usually never am. But if Part A covers hospital
Yeah.
expenses and no cost, free. Part B covers the doctor and maybe medication. I'm not real sure about that. So we were paying Part B, and neither one could you use in the Philippines. You can't use
No.
Medicare in the Philippines at all.
It's no good here. No bueno.
Right. So I said, man, if I'm going to be here the rest of my life, I'm not going to be paying 150, whatever, 140, 150, something like that, bucks a month for nothing. So I called the Social Security office in Manila. I guess that's the embassy. I'm not sure, but Social Security there. And they were very helpful. But they emphasized, now, are you sure? Are you sure? Because if you ever need Part B, you have to make up all the past payments.
Right. As if you never canceled.
Right.
And pay a penalty.
Oh, I never thought about that, but yeah, you know.
I think there's some sort of like little penalty deal.
So 10 years, 150 bucks a month for 10 years. Nah. So I canceled it, and now I'm in the situation. Actually, it's not me because I have a veterans benefits and I'm registered at the veterans.
It's Gloria.
But it's Gloria. Yeah. So that's kind of a boogity boo there that we got to get straightened out. And
Yeah, that's a debate that goes back and forth with Medicare, and I kept my B.
are you still?
I pay the money. Yeah, because I did the figures in my head, and I checked out a couple of little insurance policies, side deals, and I think I pay $150 or $170 for my Part B, and I couldn't find insurance that came close to that number at my age. And
our age, yeah.
And all that. Now, granted, I can't use it over here, but I've always thought, it's always been in the back of my head that if I came down with a condition that was going to be a long-term
Yeah.
then it would pay off in spades.
Yeah.
My friend was recently diagnosed and went through, and he's successful. Everything's okay, but he came down with a form of intestinal cancer, and it required 5 weeks of treatment once a week. And I won't go into the treatment thing. He said it was hell on earth, but it's over with. And he said that it didn't cost him a penny.
Oh, that's good.
Thrilled. And it would have been an ungodly amount of money,
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
radiation and the hospitalization and the
Yeah.
IV, and the doctors and the medication
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
nurses
Right.
and all the other hoopla. So I always figured, you know what, if push comes to shove and I've got it and that happens, at least I can goose myself back to the States, and hopefully I'll never have to. Hopefully it's money that's just being thrown out the window. But I've always felt better keeping it because I, like you, I looked into it. I thought, well, I don't want to
Yeah.
spend that, And then they told me, well, you're gonna have to make up all the if you
Yeah.
change your
Make sure that you understand that.
it's gonna end up costing you anyway.
Yeah.
And I figured if I don't have it in my pocket, I can't spend it.
Yeah.
So go
Yeah.
ahead and take it. It's like one of those deductions from your paycheck, the
Yeah,
FICA,
you're right.
Social Security, and the
Right.
whatever else they take out for. And if you never see it, you never feel it, and you just make it work from there. So
Yeah.
that was my choice. But
Yeah.
uh,
Smart. I wanted to ask you, go ahead.
Is just not the same without you here every Friday morning. I just want you to know that, my friend.
Yeah.
I wake up on Fridays now,
Nothing to
and
do.
I'm like a lost puppy
Yeah.
because that was you and me
Yeah.
got our little mandate,
Yeah.
little get together, our romance
Yeah.
every Friday morning. That was our
Right. Yeah.
We got together and we talked trash about everybody else.
Yeah. Well, I still do, just to myself.
It felt so good to just knock
Yeah.
everybody else around.
Friday mornings, I just get up and say, man, I'm glad I don't have to go see that old dog again this morning. I'm free to do what I want. No. Hey, yeah, I was getting worried about you because, you never call, you never write, you never email. I mean, what am I, one night stand or something?
Well, I knew you were over there living large and loving life, and
Yeah.
it was just one of those things where I said, you know what, I'm going to give this man some space, let him settle in, and here we are. We're right here where we're supposed to be at the time we're supposed to be. And we spoke for a while last week a little bit, and it was
Yeah.
good catching up.
Yeah.
And there's only so many lies that guys could tell each other.
I know it. Then it starts. Of course, I don't remember what you say anyway, so it doesn't make
I
a difference.
know. Yeah, it's okay though because we just keep repeating the same story.
Right. Yeah. It's like I heard for the first time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm thinking? We've got so many people here coming, and I just appreciate them so much for coming. But
Oh my goodness,
I don't
there's
know how we're-
337 people in the room right now.
I don't know how we're going to recognize everybody. I want to
We've got a
go.
little eyeball up there that says we've got 337 viewers.
Wow, that's
Holy
great.
moly. And we got a whole bunch of comments here. You're doing a very good job of ignoring your audience. I have to tell you, you're doing a better job than me of ignoring people.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna start talking. I'm gonna take a couple minutes and say hey to everybody.
Okay.
Hey, thanks
All right,
for coming
rock on.
by. Philip, it was nice to meet you. He came by here and we had coffee together. And DAKNJ asked how are the gas prices in California. I've got a little picture for that I'm going to show. Let me see. Yeah, I saw the sign. Let me see. Oh, here's a good sign for you. Look, I went to a restaurant and it said, no reservations, just walk-ins. That's a good one. Walk-ins. And let's see.
What did you gawin na?
I don't know. I got a picture of it, but I'll just tell you, I guess, instead of showing you the picture. But it was anyway, it was $6. $6. $6
What?
on the way gas. $6 per
Oh, is
gallon.
that what it is?
Over, yeah.
$6?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go over some of these others. Hey, Bud and Paulie.
All right.
Scott, thanks for coming by. What's going on, Dave? They're talking to each other there. Good. Jim Magetti says, hi, Bud. And then Jimmy George says, great to see you guys together. Thank you. Frank Keller, thanks for stopping by. Bruce, longtime subscriber. Thanks for stopping by, my friend. Edward Lee, the band is back together. Yep. And there's old Grumpy. He must be talking about you. Dan said that. So
No, he's talking about you.
yeah, well, that too. And Ida said, yay, old dog and Bud Brown. And she's been a longtime subscriber, both of us.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Scott, are you still in Mexico? Actually, I come and go from Mexico. Yeah, I'm home based here at my kid's house. Then I go to Mexico just for a short period of time and to come back. Silly Bond said, why get mixed up, Bud Brown, with a clown like him? Oh, that must be you. Well, because the clowns make me laugh. I like clowns, really,
Yeah, another one of my lovers. One of my big fans.
Daniel says, you crazy people. Well, that's Paul's audience. I know you address crazy people.
True.
You have to get on.
I cater to the crazy people.
And I'm just going to go quickly through them. Cicely Bond, Paul, Paul's not taking. Is that May? You're gonna have to tell May that we're done. YouTube experiment says hello, Paul and Bud. Christopher Morgan, as usual, big mess in the U.S. You're not missing much. There's so many people, I can't get caught up on all of them. So I'll just say, hey, everybody, Paul and I've had our own little conversation going here, but we thanks for coming by anyway. And next time, Paul will be a little bit more polite and address some of our guests. There's only like 500 comments. Oh well, but it's kind of fun, and I want to
know that you like to kill animals and play with fire. So two sides.
Yeah, and I'm glad I had a picture of that animal that I killed too. People probably thought that I was just a weak.
You're the nicest guy.
Yeah, I'm a hunter. I'm a hunter at heart. Yeah. So I think we need to wrap her up, my friend.
That's it?
Yep.
Oh, so you're
But-
just going to use me and then toss me away like an old
Yeah,
rag.
just like an old.
Oh, all right.
I'm doing my live streams on this time every week. I'm trying to do them. I've done like 3 or 4 so
It's
far.
a shame I won't be home.
Well, I'll find you no matter where you are. Always have.
I would watch, but I'm busy at that time.
Or something.
So shout out to everybody that joined us in our little room here today. And thank you so much, Mr. Bud Brown, for the honor of your presence.
And the pleasure is all
Join
mine.
you here on your wildly popular live stream.
I know I've lost a lot of subscribers moving here, but that's okay.
You
We
just
still
lost a lot of subscribers having me on your channel.
Oh boy, there they go. Seems like I see them running away right now.
Oh, you hang out with him? I'm out.
Okay, hey brother Paul, why don't you stick around after we'll go backstage and chit chat a little bit, and then
Okay, Ross. I'll take myself
thanks
back.
everybody. Thanks
you
so
can
much for
sign off.
coming by. I'll see you next week. Bye bye.
Later.